What up, my essay writing family? Vlad here from essaypro.com, and today we are going to share some super sick advice with you guys. I'm about to hook you guys up with some of the best advice around in order to write a top-notch college admission essay. So many high school students struggle with writing these essays, and usually it's not an issue of being a poor writer, but more along the lines of not knowing how to structure their essay or what kind of content to really provide. So, through countless experience and advice I've gotten from even some Ivy League admission officers, we here at Essay Pro have compiled the holy grail of tips for writing that golden admission essay. So without further ado, let's start with number 1. First off, you have to make sure to be concise. Admission officers read tons of essays every single damn day, so make sure you don't write like 700 words of just complete crap, and keep it closer to that like 250 word minimum. Just make sure to give each of your sentences a meaning instead of filling in empty gap space, which is just stupid. The shorter your essay is, the higher the attention span of the reader is, keeping him interested in your essay until the very end, which is pretty damn important. Number 2, you want to open up with an anecdote. Excite your reader from the very beginning. Just like we wrote a hook in our 5-paragraph essay, which I will link here, the video should be right about here, we must also pique the interest of our admission officer, the person that's actually reading the essay. This is really the only opportunity to truly show your unique aspects and give you something that sets you apart from the crowd. So make sure you don't like half-ass this part. So this anecdote must implement 3 parts. So the first thing it must do is it must exemplify, growth. You want to show through the anecdote how you have grown and are ready to transition toward that college life, from that high school level to that college lifestyle. The next thing is this anecdote must really kind of show them your personality. Since most admission officers don't have a time to figure out, if you're like extroverted or introverted, among other things, this gives you, that like window of opportunity to show yourself in a few lines. The third step you must take is you must be highly focused and have a level of specificity. So it's much more effective to give, like one powerful example from your life that acted, as that epitome for your next, major life decision as to, like apply for this college, as opposed to a bunch of less effective moments. So you want to really specify one specific moment in your life, and that really, like strengthens that one moment. Number 3, you want to choose a topic that will highlight who you are. Talk about your personal, life history and your experience-based beliefs. You should come at it from a creative angle and talk about, your other life achievements or educational moments. And avoid talking about your educational records, such as those not so flawless high school grades, because let's face it, we're not all 4.0 GPA students here. Even if you have stellar grades, so many students take that as their main angle of approach, and although it is effective, let's face it, most high school students don't finish with that perfect GPA. A lot of those students still get into those top tier schools. How do you think they do that? Well, college admission essays are one of those key factors. Number 4, coherency. Coherency is so damn important. As much as officers want you to know and want to know what you have to say, you have to keep things filtered. You can't just ramble and stuff. You got to keep the order of your sentences logical and consistent. So make sure you use proper grammar and like spell check your shit, guys. Like, come on, like don't be lazy. Like, it takes a few minutes. Keep the stuff looking nice and clean and organized. Also, avoid the thesaurus. Although you may think you sound like someone straight out of Shakespeare, sometimes it just makes you look like kind of an ass. Now, I'm not saying to only use 4th grade vocabulary, but don't go too crazy with the stuff either. You are a high school student entering college, not a 40-year-old dude applying for a position in neurosurgery. Number 5, give off the likable personality vibe. So let's face it, colleges see themselves as big-ass young adult communities where people party, work together, build connections, and all that good stuff. Universities want to see students who are willing to dive head into the action and spice up the mixing pot of different personalities. So this vibe can and should be subtly included as part of your anecdote. Remember we talked about that before? Also, adding small little, word jabs into the essay strengthens the point is pretty helpful as well. Number 6. Okay, you should use originality to get out of the herd of sheep. You guys know what that is. So, considering the fact that the admission officer reads tons of essays every single day, the majority of them get into that passable section. The essay wasn't terrible, it was just incredibly average and, really took no stand on anything. Colleges are huge brainstorming clouds, and universities want various opinions and arguments on all sorts of topics. That's why they're so unique and diverse. Writing about things like politics, religion, and other controversial topics can be effective on giving you the boost to get out of that passable section and into the oh wow section, as long as you don't go overboard and are considerate towards others' opinions, which is important. Show that your statements are logical and reasonable and that you aren't just a spastic rambler. Number 7, show, don't tell, give example. They say actions speak louder than words, right? You bet your ass they do, and this is where you exemplify this. Instead of stating that you like this or that you're interested in this topic, show them the proactive steps you took in order to prove you were interested, and not just talk the talk, but instead actually walk the walk. People like to see action, and nothing gets done without initiating steps or procedures. So what are you waiting for? Start writing this goddamn essay. Number 8, honesty is the best policy. Too many students try to over-exaggerate who they are and their stories of success, and nothing makes an admission officer cringe more than hearing a bunch of bogus. Instead of over-pumping some random nonsense, focus on the things that make you unique, things that separate you from the rest. Even if you weren't president of 20 clubs, doesn't mean that you don't have something special to offer to the university that no one else can really do. After reading your essay, ask a friend or a parent to proofread it and see if the essay sounds like you. If it doesn't, it's probably time to do some editing. Number 9, read the success stories, see what has worked. There's no better knowledge you can get than, pure experience. And there's nothing wrong with borrowing thoughts and ideas from other people's essays. Just don't plagiarize. Please, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. Chances are, most successful students who wrote great college admission essays definitely shared at least some minor similarities in their work. So if you can use the best little pieces from each and combine them while using your unique style, well, the world's in your hands. And lastly, number 10, don't last second this thing. I know you guys love to procrastinate. I mean, so do I. It's practically in our blood as students, but take this thing seriously, guys. Submitting your entire application before the early admission deadline is already a huge step. It shows the officers that you're taking this process seriously, and that already makes a big statement before they even start reading your essay. Don't write this thing in 30 minutes and, call it. That's the antonym of success. Spend time on it and make sure when you read it back to yourself that you are honestly satisfied with what you are presenting. Alright guys, so those are 10 of the best tips you could ever get about writing college admission essays. This list took us a while to put together, and we would just like to say thanks to the admission officers and the college students who helped us comprise it. So thanks to you guys. This is our first video about our college tutorials section, with many more to come, which you guys should be on the lookout for. Once again guys, likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions are super greatly appreciated, and thanks so much for watching our video. Anyways folks, that's my time. I gotta bounce. See y'all on the next video.